Republic is a RPG MMO that takes place 3,000 years before the events of the movies and about 300 years after the events of the original Knights of the Old Republic video game. So one of the things we announced recently was crew skills. And crew skills is sort of our blanket term that covers everything that involves crafting in our game. So there are three big pieces. There are gathering, there is crafting itself, and then there are missions. Gathering is exactly what you expect. You're out in the field, you're getting components, you're bringing stuff back. Crafting is actually taking those components and then making new things into them. Missions are something very different, and for missions to make sense, you have to understand the base concept of crew skills, which is that you are not the one doing this stuff. In the Old Republic, you have companion characters, and your companion characters are going to be the ones who are going hands-on and doing the crafting. Each one of the mission skills is to achieve a certain result. So diplomacy is for light side or dark side points. So each time you're running a mission, what you're going to do is you're going to open it up and you're going to have a whole choice of missions, and they're kind of like little mini stories. So you're going to look through all the different ones. So for diplomacy, you might look through and say, oh, okay, so there's this ambassador of a small world who's he's not playing ball with the Empire. I'm going to send my companion out to diplomatically convince him that maybe he should come over. Now for treasure hunting is for loot. So you're going to pull it up, you're going to see a bunch of different opportunities. Oh, hey, here's this derelict ship they found somewhere. Here's this sort of lost planet. Hey, there's a rumor that there was actually like a scrapyard in this area. I'm going to take the scrapyard, I'm going to say, hey, why don't you go check out what's there? My companion's going to come back. There's going to be a little bit of a random roll, and maybe they get something small, maybe they get something really big and cool. Gathering is simply the concept that we're going to go out into space and we are going to find useful items for crafting. One of the things we've talked about is bioanalysis. So bioanalysis is we're going to go and we're going to take DNA samples, living tissue samples, and examine living and dead creatures out in the world. Gathering also always comes with a mission skill for it. Either me or my companion character, if I see something in front of me, I can say, hey, let's grab that. But I can also say, oh, I'm missing this item that I need to put together this thing, so I'm going to just open up my panel, click on the appropriate skill, and tell one of my companion characters that's back on the ship to go after and find it for me. The really important thing for PvP for us is to make sure that it's still contextual, that it's immersive, that there's a story, that something real is happening there. So what's happening in the Alderaan Warzone is there is a planetary defense system on Alderaan that both sides know about because of the war. And when it becomes clear that Alderaan is going to become a conflict zone again, both sides decide to very sneakily try to go and take control of it, and both sides end up there at the same time. So what you're actually doing when you're running around is you're slicing the computers, you're taking control of things, you're seeing the turrets move in real time, you're seeing them fire at your ships that you were just on, and it really gives a visceral feel like you're there and you're in the battle. We've announced a number of species so far for the game, and what we've been doing so far is just sort of slowly rolling them out and saying, hey, this species is available for this class. Recent announcements included the Chiss for the Imperial Agent. We announced the Sith Trueblood, the Sith Purebloods for the Sith Warrior. The Sith Pureblood, for instance, represents the very, very sort of best of the aristocracy for the Sith. It is people who actually have enough of the blood of the original Sith species that it can be seen in them. Our Sith Inquisitor story, however, has you start as a slave. Obviously, you're not going to go and be a Sith Pureblood, but it actually allows us to let you be some other alien species, which would not normally be available because the Sith tend to be Sith or human. The official release date is still slated as spring next year.